Now for our stories. The Electoral Commission has dropped hints of plans to merge Ghana's weak and non-performing political parties. Electoral Commission Chairperson Jean Mensa, during a visit to the presidency, explained the Commission is having to consider the option because the current legal regime does not give it enough power to sanction such parties that are dormant. She says her office will review a report it commissioned on the exercise. Latif Idris was there and brings us more.
The visit by the Electoral Commission chairperson and her deputies marks the end of a national consultative meeting the Commission has had with political parties and other key stakeholders in the electoral process. The Commission, according to Jean Mensa, has rolled out programs to fix what she refers to as the weak institution she inherited. One of such is to merge weak political parties.
We've also undertaken institutional visits to the parties. And the whole idea is to find out which parties really exist and which parties do not exist. And the report has been prepared. The Commission is yet to sit on it and take a decision. The difficulty we have, Mr. President, is that our laws are very, very vague. And if you look at the provision that requires parties to have at least 2/3 of offices in the districts, there are no sanctions when they do not have those offices. The only sanctions we find is that parties should be filing their returns. And unfortunately, since 1992, we've only had 1 year when a party has filed its returns. So it really, our hands are sort of tied. But at the same time, as a commission, we believe that 26 years in the life of the country's democracy, we've come very far. The view that they should be given an opportunity, we should nurture them. But we believe 26 years is a long time. And so as a commission, we are going to look at the report closely and basically meet with those who have not performed, those who do not exist, and try to encourage them to merge with other parties to form measures.
Addressing the Electoral Commission chair and her deputies here at the Jubilee House, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo expressed satisfaction about the ongoing reforms at the Electoral Commission and steps that are being taken by the EC to free the state's electoral process from foreign capture.
But it's also extremely important to hear about the efforts you're making to strengthen the Electoral Commission itself and enhancing its institutional capacity. The description that you made of it as a free-for-all institution is not comforting for the people of Ghana to hear that at the heart of the democratic system is an institution of such sensitivity as the Electoral Commission, and that it works in a free-for-all manner. I think that is something that people will be very, very alarmed to hear about that being the situation in the times past. And I think that all the decisions that you're making to enhance capacity and bring some level of quality to the internal administration and management of the Electoral Commission itself should be welcomed by all right-thinking people in our country, to have conditions of service properly worked out, a scheme of service, a governance structure, all those things I think that are matters of concern, and it is good that publicly these matters are now being addressed.
President Akufo-Addo urged the Commission to maintain a high standard. He warned he does not need favors from the Commission to win the upcoming 2020 elections.
I don't need the Electoral Commission to win an election. And I don't want to win an election in Ghana because of the Electoral Commission. I want to win an election in Ghana because of the people of Ghana, that they make a free and open choice, that Akufo-Addo will be again their choice.
The EC also announced the successful termination of contract with a foreign IT firm that was paid some $5.2 million annually since 2012 to manage the Commission's IT system.
Moving on, more than 100 inhabitants of the Buduburam settlement in the central region, including 15 females, have been arrested in a dawn swoop. The operation in the settlement, which used to host Liberian refugees, involves calls of armed policemen and soldiers and comes after 2 weeks after 2 police officers were killed in the same community. Well, police in a statement described the operation as an intensified war against crime, which involves taking the fight to the criminals themselves. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
Sirens blaring as the armed policemen and soldiers transported the suspects to the police headquarters in Accra for screening. Some residents we have been speaking to say the security personnel stormed into their homes around 3 a.m. and searched their rooms, having locked down the entire community. Whilst those who had weapons and other contraband materials were arrested, those who tried to flee the community were thoroughly searched.
We saw quite a number of soldiers. When we were coming here, we saw a lot of buses. Many of them had military men in there. We saw police officers. Some of the people that we've been speaking to here tell us that about 200 police officers and soldiers came to this community, and they've been here since 12 o'clock a.m.
President of the Liberian community in Ghana lauded the swoop as a good way to take out people who engaged in nefarious activities in the Budubram settlement. He, however, kicked against suggestions that it should be demolished.
We can assure you that Liberians are not engaged into major crimes that were panicking and destructive and evil. It might be some minor domestic problems or whatsoever, but crime, armed robbery, killing, and all of those things is far from us. Look, we came to seek refuge here, and I think Ghanaians are very good to us. To demolish a township is to make a disaster, but to carry on security operative, to fetch out the criminals, because will they demolish every town, or because it's a Liberian camp? You cannot demolish every town that you see, carry on whether there's crime whatsoever, crime or major crime or minor crime whatsoever. It is the perception of the people. You see, but to impose, demolition on a group of people who come to seek refuge, it's not the best process. It's not the best thing to do.
Some residents who have been speaking to JoyNews say the assertion that the settlement is haven for criminals is no longer a perception but reality.
They need to come after every 2 weeks, one is that business. They need to come and take every criminal, because Liberians, they are not criminals. I'm honest to you. So they will come. A Liberian part of them, then they carry them. We don't have time for that, so we are okay with that. So they can come back again and do a search again. The 2 policemen they killed, it hurt me. You understand me? It hurt me. It hurt me in my soul up to now. Even in my bedroom, I feel it in my body and soul. So now, and that thing happens, they say, go man, Budubram, who is Liberia camp. The guy who thing mess up. People will feel it's Liberian. And what need will be challenged around that Liberians is the kind of person doing this kind of things in this vicinity. We've been here for a long time.
Yeah, what is the rumors that circulating is true. That's the fact. But equally so, most of the Liberians here, we are not involved into this kind of criminal activity. Going to kill police officers, going to arm rob, it's very difficult to find Liberians in this kind of major criminal activity.
So who are those involved in this?
There are those that came here just recently. Because after demolishing Ofatama, Nema, some areas that this guy came on the camp here, this causing problem for us here. For everything, most of them, they are not living on the camp.
Camp manager and Ghana Refugees Board representative Arnold Ubimpe says of the 141 people arrested, only 4 were Liberians.
So far, it's 4 family heads who reported to me that they take their family. So we are working towards that. I inform our managers in Accra, because I'm a gun on the shoulder here. My managers are in Accra. I'll inform them, and the next step will be taken immediately. I will say I'm happy. Why am I saying that? This is a refugee camp, and it's a normal thing, and it's a Ghanaian community. The camp has grown such a way that we are in the midst of Ghanaians. Those days, this place was a bushy area. You understand me? But for example, we have other camps in Ghana. They are isolated from the town. But now you cannot see the difference between the host community and the town, unless some of us have to take it to show our boundary.
The police say the exercise will be replicated nationwide.
Now let's take you to the Upper West region. And head of research at the National Association of Local Government Authorities of Ghana, Sharif Ama, has stated that despite women constituting about 51% of Ghana's population, their participation in governance at the local level is very low. He described their low participation as a dent and indictment on the country's fledgling democracy. Mr. Sharif made the statement at the day's capacity building workshop for women who wish to participate at this year's district level elections. Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
The number of women who are key actors in the local governance process in Ghana is not encouraging. Narrowing it to the Upper West region, the figures are disturbing. Out of over 300 assembly members in the Upper West region, less than 30 of them are women. One of the few lucky women to have been elected twice by the people of the Konta electoral area to the One Municipal Assembly is Margaret Vera B. Sang. Though she won massively on 2 occasions, she confessed it was difficult competing against not only a man, but someone who was more resourceful.
You know, if you don't have any support from anywhere, you just be drawn. And if you don't have money.
Assembly member for Nandom Residential Electoral Area, Vivian Benyo, will wish to make it a double to the Nandom Assembly come December. In order to be successful, she is of the opinion that one needs to have the support of the family, especially the husband.
Your husband may not be interested to give you the opportunity to come out because the community in which you live, some people may not like you. Your husband, who you are married to, will not like you to come to contest for the District Assembly election. And at the end of the day, people will be giving you insult, stigmatizing you, giving you names. So husband wouldn't give you the opportunity to come out to contest for such election.
Based on the aforementioned, a one-day capacity building workshop was therefore organized by the National Association of Local Authorities in collaboration with local government studies to sensitize women on the need to actively participate in the local level governance of the country. Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz Bin Sali, in a speech read on his behalf by Adam Walid, expressed worry over the low number of women participating in politics at the local level.
The membership of most district assemblies in the country are dominated by males. The situation in the Upper West region is not different. In the Laura Municipal Assembly, for instance, out of a membership of 44, there are only 4 female members comprising 2 elected and 2 appointed members. In the Wa Municipal Assembly, where we are today, there are only 6 female assembly members out of 43 members. This means that there are obvious gender imbalances in the decision-making process at the local level, which need to be addressed.
Head of research at the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, NALAC, Sharif Ama, stated that the low representation of women at the local level is a scar on the country's fledgling democracy.
Women constitute 51.2% of the general population of Ghana, and they constitute only few when it comes to representation at the assembly level. And we realize that this is a dent and an indictment on Ghana's our democracy at the local level.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
To the Volta region next, and shouting, the clanging of metals and the use of scarecrow. Those are just a few of the harsh and hectic methods deployed by rice farmers at Ajabokope to scare off birds in the southern districts of the region. This could be a thing of the past, as a team competing in this year's Cosmos Innovative Challenge has developed a piece of equipment which produces noise automatically to deter birds from damaging crops. Henry Kwesibedu was at the piloting of the device in the Volta region and has more on the innovation.
Cereal farmers in Ghana over the years have used mainly traditional methods to scare birds. These farmers employ ingenious techniques to protect their cereals. Some use catapults, clanging of metals, and hooting as methods to prevent birds from eating their produce. Sometimes farmers ask their children and other children in the community to help ward off birds from their farms. Rice farmers at Agbakope, a farming community in the South Tongue district of the Volta region, say they face challenges in a bid to protect their farms from birds.
Nimi hode vio ogwa When we hire the services of young boys, they charge us 150 cedis for 45 days to guard our crop farms.
Some farmers say they lose over 50% of their expected yields as they are unable to protect their rice farms from bird attacks.
The birds destroy our grains. Even the children who guard the farms are outwitted. During the rainy season, the rains chase away the boys, leaving the birds on the field. Also, during the sunny days, the birds come to feast on the grains.
Agricultural Extension Officer of the area, Jacob Blasu, says the situation is dire. According to him, some farmers want to stop rice farming as they incur costs.
I always or normally visit my farmers on the field to see what is going on there. And then anytime I come to the field, they always tell me that the bird scaring is becoming a big problem with them, that they cannot even go for anything that they can use to protect their farm. So I also keep on telling them that, okay, fine, if there is another way of doing it, fine, then let's go for the net. Let's go for the net. The net is not all that effective. You know, sometimes even as they use the net to protect the rice, like you can see the birds, some of them even under it, or some of them also stepping on it. They jump on it and then be sucking the rice. Normally they lose. Normally they lose because some of the problems that we identify, like the birds carrying like this, and then they don't get enough, let me say, input.
The Eye Scarecrow Technologies team is in the finals of this year's Cosmos Innovative Challenge and has developed a bird control device to reduce pest birds damage on cereal farms. The prototype innovation automatically produces sounds to ward off birds from damaging cereal fields. Silas Boateng is a member of the team.
We decided to start with our research on birds and actually see why they are actually a problem to the cereal farmers. And upon further and further research, we came to realize that there is a solution which can be used to work on them to help reduce their devastation on the cereal farms. We decided to start with the sound. The sound is such that we use two types of sound. We use the distress and the predator calls of the birds and the conventional sounds from our local farmers over here. So the distress calls are the cries of the birds when they are in danger, and the predator calls are the cries from the bigger birds that the rivers and the quail birds over here are afraid of. So when they hear those sounds, it acts on their fear instincts and they run away. The conventional sounds are the sounds which are being made on the farm here by our farmers. The clap, the away, and all the shouts and the clenching of metals that they do. So we decided to put all these together on one dashboard and come and automated over here for the birds to go, so that our little brothers and sisters who mostly are used on the farms over here can get access to quality education, and their parents can also get their man hours to do other things instead of being on the farm daily to scare off the birds.
As farmers stood and observed, they were excited about how the device works.
There are many challenges here. These machines that have been brought will lessen our birding. The sound from the equipment will ward off the birds which destroy our grains.
Cosmos Innovative Center says there is room for improvement as they will want to partner Ministry of Food and Agriculture to ease the plight of cereal farmers across the country. Fred Phillips is Programs Officer at the KIC.
So reason why we told the team, listen, you don't have to sit behind your computers and do illustrations, go push it onto the farmers. You have to develop this with a farmer. Because once they provide the right input, once they tell you how to design it, they accepting it becomes very easy. You won't bring to them something that becomes a white elephant. I've heard so many suggestions from the farmers. I think they are very useful. I'm going to urge the team to go back to the drawing board and see how we can put all that together. Once we present this to the ministry, once it helps to address the challenge spot on, it is something they'll buy into.
The Cosmos Innovative Challenge say they are bent on producing an entrepreneur, one at a time, to help solve the numerous challenges in the agriculture value chain in Ghana and Africa at large. Henry Kwesubedu's report for Joy News.
Scarecrow Technologies, your intelligent biological pest control.
Well, we have our traditional methods, but technology and artificial intelligence has shown us that they could be improved and make life way better for us. Well, that's it for the rest of the news.